I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but here it is, there is no growing bipartisan consensus to issue a second stimulus check, whether a one-time payment or a monthly, recurring payment. Republicans are stymieing efforts and, given their control of the Senate and the White House, the concept is as good as moot without their backing. If anything, recent Republican commentary has coalesced against a second round of direct payments.
While the first round of stimulus payments $1,200 for individuals, $2,400 for those filing jointly, and $500 for each qualifying dependent child, was crucial for many Americans, it wasn't enough. A Bankrate survey found that 55% of respondents anticipated that economic impact payments would sustain them for less than 3 months. Another survey, conducted by Simply Wise in mid-April, not only reinforced this point, but also underscored the predicament many Americans are in. 63% responded that they would need another stimulus check within 3 months.
Almost immediately following passage of the CARES Act, new proposals for additional direct aid to Americans started popping up. Most recently, there has been increasing Democratic support for a proposal that Congressman Tim Ryan and Ro Khanna had put forward in mid-April, the Emergency Money for the People Act, to provide $2,000 monthly payments to qualifying Americans.
The operative word, however, is Democratic. Adding 10 Democratic co-sponsors to a Democrat-sponsored bill is not going to move the needle without support from the other side of the political aisle. It certainly doesn't signal increased consensus for a second stimulus check. It is the equivalent of a husband thinking that new support from his 10 best friends increases the likelihood of winning an argument with his spouse, or, in the political realm, the same as more people in California, a state that awards electoral votes on a winner-take-all basis, announcing in 2016 that they were voting for Hillary Clinton.
Our equivocator-in-chief only added noise to the mix with his comments on the subject. Asked on April 6 if he would consider a second round of direct payments, Trump said, "We could very well do a second round of direct payments," adding that it is absolutely under serious consideration. Trump has since moved on to his new flavor of the week, payroll tax cuts, telling a Fox News virtual town hall on Sunday, "I want to see a payroll tax cut on both sides, a very strong one, because that's going to really put people to work." For what it's worth, most mainstream economists, like Betsy Stevenson and Justin Wolfers, strongly disagree.
Trump's initial remarks were followed by an April 8 Washington Post opinion piece by Republican Senator Josh Hawley, which argued for covering 80% of wages for workers, up to the median national wage. This narrative, coupled with more recent offhand comments by Kevin Hassett, a White House economic advisor, initially provided a few glimmers of hope for a second stimulus payment. However, these have proven to be exceptions rather than the norm.
Strong opposition to another round of direct payments has emerged in the past week as evidenced by biting comments from Republicans. Here is a sampling, sourced from congressional news site, The Hill.
Republicans have started coalescing around a uniform set of talking points, not only opposing direct stimulus payments, but also reframing the conversation around other topics, including a liability shield for companies. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who will control the shape of much of the next stimulus package, has called liability protections a must-have red line for Republicans.
Even Democrats, while not abandoning direct payments, have shifted focus to a laundry list of other relief priorities, including providing additional money to cash-strapped states and cities, expanding unemployment benefits, and food stamp funding. Pelosi tipped her hand about which of these is top of mind for her when drew a line in the sand saying, "There will not be a bill without state and local assistance."
Does this mean another round of stimulus checks is off the table? No, but it does show that a second direct payment may not be at the forefront of the negotiating list. With so many competing priorities for Democrats, the question will be whether additional direct payments are predominant or a bargaining chip to secure other concessions. The more opposition emerges from Republicans, the more likely it is to be the latter. Sorry.
Was a $2,000 per month stimulus check included in the $484 billion Senate bill?
A glimmer of hope emerges for a second stimulus check.
Get My Payment, IRS formally addresses what to do if your stimulus check amount was wrong.
Tracking your stimulus check? Here's how to decode the confusing, payment status not available error message.
One county offered $1,000 stimulus payments to 40,000 residents. Here's what happened.
Romney proposal calls for up to $5,760 in hazard pay bonuses for essential workers.
Elizabeth Warren and Sherrod Brown unveil sweeping six-prong consumer protection proposal.
How some rich Americans are getting stimulus checks averaging $1.7 million.
Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders to Mnuchin, exempt stimulus checks from private debt collection.